Well, hello my fellow nerds. It has been a while since my last video in general, actually. I have a meeting to talk about how I did my Kida cosplay for some time now, and then I kept saying, okay, I'm gonna do it during the summer, and that didn't happen until October, even though we're getting to the season where we actually start bundling up, and here I am looking like I walked off of a, what was that Jane Fonda movie? Whatever that was. Let me tell you guys a little backstory before I get into how I did this cosplay. When one of my closest friends, Emily, had bought me a Sailor Moon wand, and that channeled emotions in me that could rival the tear-jerking moments on Extreme Makeover Edition. It was pretty emotional. And I wanted to do something equally for her that would be great, to have a surprise cosplay that was originally going to be in 2019, and then I went ahead and jumped the gun and got it done in like less than a month and a half. And I was actually really surprised how little money it took and what little effort I had to do this cosplay. Oh man, that was a Basic Instinct thing right there. My goodness. Catherine Chamel, I am the new hot potato top. No, I'm not. She's probably can still pull it off better than I can. I had so much fun doing Kida back in June. Me and my pals, we sang Sticks. Come sail away with me. Naturally, you kind of have to sing Sticks when you do an Atlantis cosplay. We inadvertently cosplayed Atlantis on the day of the anniversary. We didn't even notice it, and that was just kind of an absolute coincidence that we couldn't have planned it even if we tried. And then, I reenacted the Saw movies on my leg, on my fucking legs! That was great, going down to the medical unit, trying to just get a good jump start on the weekend, and then I have to be taken to the medical unit. That was great. I lost so much blood, it makes Evil Dead 2 look like a freaking paper cut. No joke. Not at all. So now that I finally got that whole spiel out of the way, I can finally tell you how I did this cosplay for Kida for this episode of Cosplay Chronicles. I don't really have to do too much detail for how I did the cosplay, because you'll be surprised how little I had to do and what unique ways I went about to doing this cosplay. So the first thing we'll start with is the skirt, because that was the part that confused me the most, so I want to go ahead and get that whole explanation out of the way. Just take the fabric and just adjust it in certain places, and then also just kind of fold it in front, knot it in front, kind of see how I want to gather it. And I had to find a way to make that gather to a center, because it's kind of the way it looks like. It just all folds to the middle. And don't judge me for this, because this is the only way I could figure this out to make this work for a comfortable benefit, as well as making it work for myself and other reasons. I used a zip tie. I originally was going to try and do what I always did that you guys are aware of, is I use elastic. I couldn't use elastic because how in the hell was I going to make a piece of elastic curve in? And I couldn't really figure out how I was going to do it. And then I just decided a zip tie. That way it's gathered in the middle. So what I did was I took it together, and then I took 2 zip ties, and I did one on both sides, so it kind of just is centered near the middle, but that way I kind of had it both evened out on either side, so that way it works out. And also, to make this work, to make it stay on, is I also sewed on a snap. I put the safety pins in on upper near the part where it meets the middle, and then lower, so that way I don't have any accidents. And that way it doesn't really matter how much safety pins I use or snaps or whatever. It's all covered up by this part right here, so it worked out absolutely perfectly. So no one has to see my Secrets of Atlantis. And of course, just paint a red solid line and then 2 gold lines above it. It's a very simple thing. I don't think I have to teach you. Just make sure as long as you have it, even, then you're good. Just don't do what I did and then paint it while it was zip tied. That wasn't my brightest moment at all. And then to finish off the skirt for the belt, pretty simple. I took a piece of fabric, I folded it, I put a snap on there and a Velcro just for extra insurance. We'll go with that word. For the folded part in the skirt, once again, took some fabric, folded it together, and then made sure the bottom part I folded that up, so that way it would be nice, clean, crisp, folded pattern and then adjusted it as I saw fit. And most importantly, to cover up my secrets of Atlantis. No one needs to see that. For the bra thing, as I'm just gonna call it, and then basically what I did was I kind of thought about just making one, but then with the way that I am and the way that my northern hemisphere is, if I did, I would probably have a Super Bowl Janet Jackson accident and I wouldn't even need Justin Timberlake, and that's something no one needs to see. So basically what I did was I twisted it in the middle and then folded it into my bra. So that way I would have 100% comfort. I wouldn't have to worry about if I bend it over and then all of a sudden you just heard a out of nowhere. That's, again, we don't need to have a Janet Jackson Super Bowl reenactment. I don't think so. That way this is more comfortable and I don't have to worry about anything to happen, and then I can adjust it as I go along. So if I do feel that I'm exposed a little bit more, I can just tug a little bit over here, tug a little bit over there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I didn't, better than the yellow polka dot bikini, because I probably would have fallen out of that one too. For the wig, this is another part that I kind of scratched my head over because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do this one. So I decided instead that I would look at what other cosplayers did. This is my go-to thing, is I look to see what other cosplayers did before I went ahead and did anything else I wasn't unsure about. And if I saw that a cosplayer didn't do something that I was questioning about, and they're okay with not doing that, then that kind of gave me a sense of comfort of, okay, then I feel better not doing it this certain way if it makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's what I honestly feel is missing line cosplay is you don't have to do everything by the book. If it's something that you don't want to do because you feel like you don't have the skill for it, or you just don't think it would fit, then by all means, don't do it. So what I did instead was I cut accordingly to the bangs, which of course I made them a little too long, but you can kind of play around with that. It's a touch and go process. So it was like zigzag, all around, up, down. It was a mess, but I got it done. Like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be by the book. As long as you kind of have it a piece in the middle, you should be good. And then for the part over here, what I did was, once again, I took a piece of hair and then I zip tied it, or I did a hair clip. What did I do again? Oh, I did that. Okay. And then I took some little leather string and then wrapped it around, hot glued it, burned myself naturally because it's how this thing has to go. We're not working on a cosplay until you cause some little increment of pain. Just the way it has to go. It's like a rite of passage. And then last but not least, the crystal I did not make. This was actually bought by, yes, Emily. She surprised me and said that she had gotten us matching crystals. She did this random gift of kindness, and that we got to have like matching crystals for our cosplays. Doing Kida was so fun at Anime Mid-Atlantic. I had so much fun, even though I was so nervous about my weight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit hard to think about. I can pull off a cosplay like this, but self-esteem wise, that was the big question, because I struggled with my weight for so long that there hasn't been a time in my life that I did not struggle and agonize over my weight, which made it very hard to want to do anything cosplay or just for my own image. It was very tough. After I noticed that I was looking better, that was also a common factor when I decided to do Kida for Emily was, okay, I actually did not know I was going to get an advance on my self-esteem, so I'm going to go ahead and get Kida done. Why the heck not? Even though it's a lot of skin and I'm still not at the weight I want to achieve, I'm still working on it, and it's still work in progress. And we're still in a day and age I am very proud of that we've stopped fat shaming people. We're starting to kind of stop looking at size numbers, and there's been more of like just accepting that no matter what you look like, you are beautiful. And I love that we've gotten to that part in our society. So basically, running to BTW I'll music finally paid off for me in the long run to get me to a healthy point in my life. So there we go. But I'm really glad that I did this equally for my friend to give her a surprise of getting to do an Atlantis cosplay, but then also for me of doing such a spontaneous act for my self-esteem. And I feel like it's helped me out tenfold looking at myself when we debuted these cosplays and walking down and people just had all these compliments for the cosplays, as I'm so nervous because it's the most skin I've ever exposed in my life, and I'm glad I did it because now I feel so much better about myself, even though I still have some moments, but it's better than where I used to be at before in my life, and I'm glad that I'm finally feeling better. I almost got a little bit teary-eyed trying to pop that sentence out. And naturally, you know, I have to showcase the mishaps that happened during the making of this cosplay. Oh god, I almost dropped those scissors again. Where's the other? Oh, I'm gonna find out my finger and I'm gonna scream. Ah, get in the hole. Ow.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'll try not to. I'm dangerous. It's a facts of life. It's a force I have to reckon with.
Traitor and terrorist, and now it's time you pay for that.
Oof. So, before I officially conclude this episode of Cosplay Chronicles, as most of you know, I do a little thing called my Shire Shoutout, where I pick a random cosplayer that I know and I want to give them a shout out to all their hard work. So let me go ahead and find that little thing. Let's see here, and let's see who the lucky winner is going to be. And I put this in a little basin with pins. That's not good. Let's see who this is. Ooh, I got someone good! I got my good pal Dormacor. And if you don't know who this wonderful person is, you're probably going to find her very familiar in my videos. She's in a lot of my con vlogs. She's helped me out with all my projects. She is literally the Robin to my Batman, but in this case, I'm the Robin to her Batman because I am kind of a bird brain, so it does make more sense, that comparison and analogy. She has such a unique and creative mind, and I kind of just want it, but at the same time, I shouldn't be given that much power. So she can be the brains of the operation. I will just stand there and look pretty, and that's kind of the basis of our friendship. But definitely give her Instagram a follow. I absolutely love her cosplays, the ideas that she has. Please go check out her stuff. She's amazing. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cosplay Chronicles. I think this is the most important episode I've ever done. I wanted to talk about like body image in cosplay for a very long time, and I feel like this was kind of the episode that I finally got a chance to do that. And I couldn't think of a more perfect character. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow nerds, and I'll try not to go so long without making another video. You guys take care. Bye-bye!